Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays Hearthstone, or Hearthstone Arena Northernlion's Den. We're gonna continue going with this priest deck. On the last episode I went 2-0, which is pretty good. I redeemed myself ever so slightly, improved my morale. That's good. The bad news is this deck is very much like, it's like O-Town's second song, their sophomore slump, you know, all or nothing. I wanted all or nothing at all. It's the second time I've used that reference in a video today. That's embarrassing. Extra bonus points if you find the other one, I guess. But it's a deck heavily focused on control. Once we get board control, it's very... Maybe get rid of Thoughtsteal, keep Thrallmar Farseer, just in case we don't get better cards on these mulligans. Once we get board control, it's fairly easy for us to keep it. But unfortunately, if we end up kind of getting boned right at the very start, it's difficult for us to come back from that, unfortunately. I also think that this deck has a huge advantage for me when it goes second. When it goes first, I don't think it accomplishes very much at all. The good news is, hopefully he does not, like, coin on this turn. Fantastic. And actually, this makes Worgen Infiltrator kind of a more interesting play. But I think what I'm going to do is Mana Addict right now. That's going to be a very difficult card to kill. On the next turn, I can cast Power Word Shield, draw a card, and then Mana Addict will be a 3/5, which is very strong. Strong enough to kill whatever he's going to drop, almost certainly, unless he coins into, like, a 3-mana really great creature that I can't think of right now. We'll see anyway. I think Mana Addict will almost certainly be able to kill whatever he throws out, and we'll get a card draw out of it as well. And then we can put down Worgen Infiltrator, or we can put down Thrallmar Farseer. We'll see how life looks at the end of this turn. I was going to say, if he just uses Reinforce, I'll just kill that right away. And we'll actually summon Thrallmar Farseer instead, which I think is a pretty good play here. And as a result, now he's got two creatures on the field, which are a little bit more of a pain in the ass to deal with. Obviously, Paladin has some direct damage cards, some removal cards, as well as cards like Consecrate, which will actually, you know, basically clear the board. What's he going to do here? Probably Hammer of Might. True Silver Champion. That's an annoying card. That's fine by me. If he's going to use his weapon in a situation that I don't consider that important, then sure, by all means. What I will probably do here is actually just toss out Worgen Infiltrator. Holy Nova could be super valuable next turn. But I'll toss out Worgen Infiltrator. I could Power Word Shield and heal Mana Addict. And then it would become pretty strong, but not that strong. It's strong enough to not die to True Silver Champion, though. Maybe, this could be fun. We'll throw out Worgen Infiltrator, because this is, you know, we can get some damage out of it. And if we Power Word Shield, we'll go up to 4 health. Basically, I'm just making Mana Addict harder to kill. And we get an Abomination as well, which is another great board clearing card. And I'm not sure, this doesn't count as a spell, right? So we just do 3 damage like so. And we'll be a 1/5 after this turn, but that still means that True Silver Champion will not just be able to wipe it out, so he's kind of got nothing to do with that on this turn. And again, it's very important to keep a focus on... I apologize for my chair creaking, by the way, but it's very important to focus on board control here. I've been silenced, which it seems like a waste of a silence, but because that is only a 2-mana Iron Beak Owl, I think he gets more than enough value out of it. And True Silver Champion is broken now, which is very good news for me. But I've got to keep a heavy focus on board control, no question about it. I think the somewhat obvious... Actually, there's a lot of like really good plays out here right now. But the somewhat obvious play would maybe be Fen Creeper or Abomination. And the Abomination in particular people are going to like because, you know, it gets the board cleared early. But because I don't really think there's anything else I can put out right away, I would almost rather use Abomination when there's more of his shitty creatures on the board. And if Abomination actually, like, lived for a turn, then I could then toss out, like, a Holy Nova, and Abomination could probably clear out some really strong creatures. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Instead, I'm going to send out Fen Creeper, and I was thinking, like, I could swap for the Owl. But Worgen Infiltrator for the Owl is pretty bad. I think because the Owl's already gotten most of the benefit out of its 2-mana-ness. But, I don't know. We'll see. I can always, Holy Nova next turn and basically kill everything. And again, oh, that's really shitty, actually. The longer I wait on the Owl, you know, the better life becomes. The Owl is still going to die in this situation. But I think he's not going to attack me with the Owl. Instead, he'll attack me with a Amani Berserker, which will give, for 1 health, it'll get an extra, like, 5 or 3 attack, which is not so bad. Now I can trade, directly the Worgen Infiltrator for the Amani Berserker, which is a pretty good trade, I think, now. I could also Holy Nova, and seems pretty good in this case. If I drop an Abomination, that'll, like, kill everything else for sure as well. So, I still don't think this is the right way to use Abomination. I would almost rather just use a Holy Nova. And then, so we'll do Holy Nova here. There's probably a better use for it. And then I'm going to take Worgen Infiltrator out of Stealth. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to draw the aggro from his True Silver Champion. And if True Silver Champion attacks me and breaks to kill a 1-mana Worgen Infiltrator, I consider myself to be a lucky man. Now, we definitely want Pint-Sized Summoner to die. So I'm assuming he's going to kill me with True Silver Champion. Or kill my creature with True Silver Champion. Because he wants that Pint-Sized Summoner to live as long as possible. And that will make this now a 3-2, which is pretty good. And I think now this is absolutely the time to send out our Abomination. And then, I don't know, we can just heal up for no reason. So, a Silence would stop Abomination here. I mean, Flesh-Eating Ghoul will actually live through this. If he attack... No, he won't. Sorry, what was I thinking? Flesh-Eating Ghoul will absolutely not live through this. There are some Paladin cards. I believe there's 4 mana, deal 3 damage, draw a card. I don't know if that would really help him that much. He's probably... if I were him, I would want to Silence right now. And let's assume that this Abomination manages to clear the board. Obviously, himself included. And I have the initiative on the next turn. I could throw out a couple of Light Spawns. Or 1 Light Spawn and a Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I have a Holy Nova to kind of keep the board in my favor, ideally. We'll see how it works out. I still have some Divine Spirit and some Inner Fire in my deck. Divine Spirit very good on Light Spawn, obviously. I feel like I'm in an okay position right now, but certainly is far from one. Oh my god, he is another fucking True Silver Champion! Well, that means that Pint-Sized Summoner will die, but the Flesh-Eating Ghoul will live, and it'll actually become like a 7-1? No, 5-1, sorry, it gives +1. And then he's going to get a little bit stronger as well as a result of that Earthen Ring Farseer. That was a very good play from him. No question about it. Now, we're in an awkward situation now because there's really no way that I come out of this ahead. I think what I do is... no way that I come out of it ahead right now. I think what I'm going to do is drop down this Light Spawn. And I'm basically going to say, you know what, like... I'm either going to kill Flesh-Eating Ghoul for this, or I'll get Earthen Ring Farseer and True Silver Champion. But then what do I throw down as well? I could throw down a Flesh-Eating Ghoul, but I don't think that's a good play. I think it's almost better, like, if this is Restore 2 health. I'm pretty sure if I use it on the Light Spawn, it's not going to accomplish anything. But if I use it on my hero, that doesn't really do too much for me either. Whatever, we'll heal ourselves and then end the turn. This is very much a mental play. And I am hoping that he kind of falls into my trap here, but... Okay, so he's going to attack me directly. It's the right course of action for sure, because then my Light Spawn will go down to 1 health, but I did, knock out another True Silver Champion. This is what happens when you are dealing with an arena deck. That's the 3rd True Silver Champion. Please tell me that he doesn't have any more. But with 8 mana, sure, Raid Leader, kind of a pain in the ass, but with 8 mana, he could do some nasty stuff here. We're going to wipe out a lot of stuff with Holy Nova. I could Light Spawn Holy Nova. Double a minion's health. I don't think I should Light Spawn Holy Nova. I think what I should do is Holy Nova, Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Yeah, and the reason I like this is because maybe he'll attack me directly. He'll live, but maybe this isn't the best. I don't know. This is a weird one. Because if I send out Light Spawn right now, it'll be killed. Like, I Light Spawn... Then Holy Nova, and he'll have a 7... Maybe I won't be killed. Let's try this, actually. And if I survive, then Light Spawn becomes crazy strong. But this fucking Flesh-Eating Ghoul is going to be nuts. Anyway, Light Spawn comes out first. Holy Nova. And that'll finish this turn off. I have a small card advantage, and the ability to make Light Spawn very, very powerful on the next turn. Powerful enough, I don't know. This is a weird one. The real problem is this fucking Flesh-Eating Ghoul is such a pain in the ass, and I really want to kill it as soon as possible, otherwise we're not going to live through another turn in all likelihood. I could sacrifice a Light Spawn to do it. The taunt is... He only has 14 health. Well, I wonder if I could, like, taunt... How do I not die? I send out a taunt. I double Light Spawn's health. He does 10. Okay, we have to go hard on this, I think. Double Light Spawn's health. So he's 10-10. If only I had one more of those, it would have been over. Then we drop Senjin Shieldmaster. This is going to get killed, probably by War Golem, if I had to guess. And then I want to heal up just to make sure I won't die in the process, but I think it's better to send out Flesh-Eating Ghoul so I have the opportunity to maybe make sure that I deal 4 damage to him on the next turn. This is very much kind of end of the line, and I thought about just taking out Flesh-Eating Ghoul in exchange for Light Spawn. Oh, he might actually kill me on this turn. That's what I'm guessing that well played means. Another True Silver Champion? No, Argent Commander. That's annoying. And then he'll be able to do 17 damage. Alright, if only I had healed myself. You know, fair enough. Well played. He played very well there. I probably made a tactical error in the end. If I'd killed Flesh-Eating Ghoul, I might have had a better chance, but I don't know. The Argent Commander would have been a problem as either way. So I'm happy that we went 2 and 3 with this, even though that's not a very good payout. We will draft another deck here, and hopefully I'll be able to play a class that is, you know, a little bit more my style. And we'll see how much gold we get. We'll probably get enough to buy. Ooh, yeah, 35, 40 gold is not that bad. And you know what? Before we open this pack, why don't we buy another pack as well? Because I'm okay with keeping myself at 150 gold, basically. Just so I can buy my way back into Arena. And usually you get enough gold with the frequency that I play Hearthstone to buy my way back into the Arena for free anyway. So we'll see if we get any good cards for Constructed here. We got a rare. Ooh, and an epic. Big Game Hunter is a card I like. Wow, that was a really good deck, actually. 2 rares and an epic. Mass Dispel. Silence all minions. Draw a card. Could maybe be useful, but I really don't see too many situations where a multiple silence is that useful for 4 mana and a deck spot. Oh, we got 2 rares in this one as well. Savannah Highmane and Blizzard, both decent cards. Anyway, Savannah Highmane in particular I really like. Let's go back into the Arena here. 185 gold makes us enough to come in, and why don't we play as a mage? I know we played as a mage fairly recently, but I think that this is something that will maybe give me a chance to claw my way back into adequacy. First series of cards here. I really dislike Wild Pyromancer. Defender of Argus is okay. I absolutely, I think a Defender of Argus is okay. Questing Adventurer can be amazing or terrible. Used to be seen in like every constructed deck because of this ridiculous buff. I'm going to go Defender of Argus instead, though. So Flame Strike, I think, is a gimme choice here for board clear. I got to take my time a little bit. Dollar on Mage, I think, is absolutely terrible unless I go for a 100% spell-focused deck. Typically, when I think of spell damage +1, I basically, like, that's the mana cost, because 1/4 is not very good at all for 3 mana. So it's 3 mana for spell damage +1. Can make a difference, but I think it's extremely rare and situational. War Golem, I think, is okay. Razorfen Hunter, I think, is, you know, 3 mana for a 3/4, technically. It's alright. We can afford to go with it, I think. I think War Golem is a slightly better card, but this is fine. I think Sorcerer's Apprentice is almost a must-have in a mage deck. At least it's an asset, for sure. And it's a 3/2 for 2 mana, which is basically slightly above average, I think. You know, that it's basically the same as Bloodfen Raptor, plus you get the spells cost 1 less. Venture Company Mercenary is awesome. Acolyte of Pain, also awesome. I'll be taking Acolyte of Pain here, because with my hero power, I can basically pay 2 mana to draw 1 card just by hitting it, so even if I don't get anything amazing as a result. I hate Magma Rager and Ironforge Rifleman, so I will take a second Flame Strike, and I'll be taking more of those, if possible. I think Frost Nova is a killer card. Freeze all enemy minions. Ancient Brewmaster is also amazing, but I'm going to go with Frost Nova in this situation. 2 Acolytes of Pain, I think, might be a little bit overkill. But what else am I going to go with? You know, like, Gnomish Inventor is not horrible. With my hero power, I can take out enemies with 3 health. I think it's okay. We'll get this for a little bit more card draw, I guess, which is funny because I was just talking about how I don't need card draw via a second Acolyte of Pain. But anyway, Mirror Entity, I think, is another great secret to copy the enemy's card. Now, we're not building a pirate deck. I have a constructed pirate deck, which maybe I'll show off at some point. But we either have Sea Giants, costs 1 less for every other minion on the battlefield. Spellbender, when an enemy casts a new spell on a minion, when an enemy casts a spell on a minion, summon a 1/3 as the new target. Sure, why not? I don't like Sea Giant, otherwise I probably would have gone with this. Now, I really like Cone of Cold, but I also do want to take a Venture Company Mercenary at some point, but I do think that Cone of Cold is probably a little bit better in the deck that I've built so far. Alright, now we'll take an Ancient Brewmaster. And we have a rare choice here. Ancient Mage can be interesting, kind of like a Defender of Argus, but with spell damage +1 instead of taunt and +1/+1. Anyway, but I think we'll probably go with Sunwalker here, which is not a great card for 6 mana, but the Taunt and Divine Shield makes it a little bit better. And Gadgets and Auctioneer I don't think I'd get much value out of. I already have some card draw. Ancient Mage, maybe, but I think Sunwalker. I need some cards in this range anyway. Azure Drake is pretty damn good. Vaporize, also pretty damn good. But, you know, card draw +1, or sorry, well, spell damage +1 and then a card draw, I think is okay. Especially considering that I have a decent number of spells, or I will probably by the end. And we need a 5-mana card. We have a lot of 3-mana spells and secrets already. I'll take Azure Drake here. Pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. I think Harvest Golem is by far the best out of these. Murloc Raider, 1 mana, 2/1. Could be worse, I guess, but, you know, basically objectively worse than a Worgen Infiltrator. Water Elemental is probably a decent play here. I like it more than Stormwind Knight because of the freezing ability. And if we get something like Ice Lance, then that becomes even stronger. Ironbeak Owl, I think, is not great. It used to be, and I'm basically paraphrasing Trumps directly here, but it used to be, like, really, really good. I think it's a little bit less good now just because Silence doesn't seem to be as valuable, but Nightblade, I think, is pretty bad. Stormwind Knight, I don't like either, so Ironbeak Owl, 1 Silence, and then if I do end up actually pulling a Venture Company Mercenary, that would be awesome. Direwolf Alpha can be really good. Or can be pretty good, at least. 2 mana for +2 attack. Ideally, I guess you drop this on a turn where this helps you either kill a minion or you just get +2 damage for 2 mana. For 1 turn, likely, until something else dies. But, I don't think taking a War Golem would be the worst decision here, so I'm going to do that instead. Ethereal Arcanist. If you control a secret at the end of your turn, gain +2/+2, or Blizzard, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions and freeze them. I think Blizzard is better, but Ethereal Arcanist could be really fucking good. We only have 2 secrets right now, Mirror Entity and, yeah, Mirror Entity and Spellbender. So I'm going to take Blizzard, but I do want to get some more creatures. I'm going to take a second Azure Drake. Out of all those, that was my favorite. I think I have enough card draw to ignore Arcane Intellect, and I'll take a Fairy Dragon instead. Chillwind Yeti. I don't think Mirror Image is particularly good. Gurubashi Berserker is actually probably more valuable than Chillwind Yeti. In 1 turn for 2 mana, I could make it a 5/7. Chillwind Yeti is real good, but Gurubashi Berserker gets an extra benefit in a mage deck, I think, because of the hero power that allows you to hit it and then just give it +3 attack for 2 mana. So that'll probably get focused down early, but that's, you know, there's value in that as well. Play a Jungle Panther here for the 4 damage that I can do to any creature I choose. We don't have very much taunt in this deck at all, but we do have Defender of Argus. Ancient Brewmaster is another one that I'll take. I don't think I need a second Owl. But now I'd want a second Owl because we are definitely going to take Venture Company Mercenary. Only 5 cards left now. A 3rd Flame Strike is very tempting. Very, very tempting, but Polymorph is also a fantastic card in my opinion. So we'll go with that. Just to keep things mixed up, I guess. I don't think we need a second Venture Company Mercenary. I think we can go with the Taunt instead. Fireball, I will absolutely take. Lord of the Arena, I think, is the best of these options. And 1 last card, and it's an epic. Faceless Manipulator, choose a minion and become a copy of it. Ice Block, when your hero takes fatal damage, prevent it, and become immune. Can be useful. I don't really like it. Doomsayer. I don't really like it. So we'll take Faceless Manipulator. This is the first time I've ever had Faceless Manipulator. Obviously, as I have literally 0 1-mana cards, and no 0-mana cards either, I'm not very tempted to want to go first. But if we can go second, and I can get the coin, and maybe throw out a 2-mana creature to start with, like a Fairy Dragon or something like that, works for me. I am worried about going up against a warrior, but I'm excited to be playing as a mage deck. I got a lot of cards in here that I like. I go first, which I don't like, but that's fine. And of course, our 2-mana creature is Ironbeak Owl, which I have to keep just in case, but good, we got Fairy Dragon instead. That was the ideal mulligan. That was a very conservative mulligan, but it still panned out for us. So we'll say hello and end our turn and see what's up here. I don't know how it stacks up mage versus warrior. We'll see how we can do. Obviously, it's a thing handle on a deck-by-deck basis. On this turn, you know, could feasibly play Fairy Dragon. It's a waste, though. I could silence the Battle Cry, but I think it's worthless. I would rather just do this and end our turn. He played a card and did 2 damage. Probably, we can both be reasonably happy with that situation. 3 mana on the next turn. Cone of Cold is very unlikely. Basically, I'd probably be using this like 3 mana for 1 damage at this point, which is pretty bad. Unless he somehow summons 2 creatures. Okay, good. He just uses hero power. I like that because that gives me a chance to kind of do something this turn and maybe get something on the field. So now that I have kind of the combination of cards that I do in my hand, my ideal play is kind of like Venture Company Mercenary and then silence it like immediately afterwards so that I have this incredible 5-mana creature on the field, but it doesn't cost me the awful Battle Cry anymore. Well, not Battle Cry, the awful effect. So this is a situation that's probably not going to come up all that often, but it could be extraordinarily useful. And that is like our 5 and 6 mana turn, and then 7 mana Flame Strike in all likelihood. So Emperor Cobra is certainly going to attack me next turn if I had to guess. We're at 4 mana here. Beats me what we actually do in this situation. Frost Nova, freeze all enemy minions. I mean, I don't think those are worth using here. I don't think anything really is worth using here except this. So we're going to hero power him, and then not even swap for the Cobra. That doesn't... I should get the Cobra off the field before I would want to put up Venture Company Mercenary. So let's actually, yes, indeed attack the Cobra, and that's fine. We'll both die. And I'm not going to send out the Owl. So next turn, no matter what he does, in all likelihood, we send out Venture Company Mercenary. And then it'll be Ironbeak Owl, which will cost us 5, which is dumb, but then everything else will be fine. The question is, will he be able to... I'm definitely not going to enrage this Tauren Warrior, so we'll send out Venture Company Mercenary. End our turn, and then, you know, you can see how this is going, probably. Next turn, Ironbeak Owl, and nothing else, in all likelihood. And next turn, then would be Flame Strike, and the board's clear, and hopefully if Venture Company Mercenary is still alive, then we start doing an F-ton of damage to this guy. So I'm really, really glad that we had the opportunity, assuming this guy's not going to get assassinated, or whatever it's called, execute. I'm really glad we have the opportunity to use the silence like this. So that makes Tauren Warrior a little bit stronger. He's probably just going to attack me directly. Seems like kind of a weird play to me, but let's see what his 1-mana card is that he's looking to use here. Yeah, I mean, obviously he would do that, otherwise he would just die. So... Faceless Manipulator is very expensive here, obviously. I almost want to, like, freeze and then... Or Cone of Cold and then... I don't even... But the problem is we don't have a follow-up. Like, a Cone of Cold hit him, but that doesn't do anything. So I think it's... This is probably best, but the problem is we die on the next turn, right? Like, I play Ironbeak Owl, and then he just kills Venture Company Mercenary. That's not that good. So Venture Company Mercenary is just going to die anyway. Shit, what's the point, right? Like, we might as well just play, like, an Acolyte of Pain or something. I think. Unless he chooses not to kill it, which would be weird to me. Okay, so we're going to kill the Taunt, and we're going to let him choose whether or not to kill Venture Company Mercenary. And we're going to throw out an Acolyte of Pain of our own. Yeah, because I can't, like, if I could freeze and then silence him, I'd get the value, but I don't think I will. So instead, here you go. Choose which one of these is higher value to you. My guess is he will probably hit Acolyte of Pain with Defender of Argus, thus keeping Venture Company Mercenary alive, thus allowing me to do, like, a Frost Nova, silence, tons of damage, and then, you know, they'll be frozen, and on the... This is what I've actually also figured. He is going to kill... Venture Company Mercenary, which is a much better play for him. So, you know, kudos to him for that. But this does open up the possibility for us to Flame Strike if we want, or we could just, like, Cone of Cold. Oh, and he's just going to kill me. Oh, we get a card draw out of that, which I like, but I don't like the idea of Flame Striking now. When instead, for... that doesn't do too much for us, but... Anyway, we have a lot of options, let's put it that way. I could... easily copy the Questing Adventurer. I can't quite do what I want. Here's what I'm thinking. We take, send out Azure Drake. 4/4. We have 2 mana left. We get a card draw. On the next turn, to finish this turn, we freeze all enemy minions. Sorry, you guys are in a bad place. Now, all of a sudden, Cone of Cold does 2 damage to these enemies. And if he buffs Questing Adventurer more, which is absolutely going to happen, basically, here's what I'm trying to get at. I'm trying to get the maximum value that I possibly can out of Flame Strike. The more creatures he has on the field equals the more cards that he spent, equals the more value I get for 7 mana. So that's kind of ideal to me. We'll see what he chooses to do. Each player draws 2 cards. So this makes Questing Adventurer, you know, potentially much, much stronger, but I'm glad to have the 2 cards. Water Elemental does not have the Battle Cry, right? Okay. So as of right now, Cone of Cold, interesting, but Flame Strike is maybe the better play. And then I don't even know what I throw out afterwards. I'm waiting to use this Faceless Manipulator, obviously, on something amazing. Okay, so now Questing Adventurer is a 8/7, which is ridiculous. That is charge? Oh, because of Warsong Commander. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. So I think we silence Questing Adventurer. That happens. So we play, like, Ironbeak Owl. Silence you. And then we see how much health he has left. 2/2. I don't really want to use a Flame Strike for this, then. Which we can't anyway, because I don't have the... what I can do... Okay, here's something. Cone of Cold. Like this. And again, the longer I hold on to the Flame Strike, the better my life is. So, you know, now I could trade the Owl, actually, and that would allow me to throw down another creature afterwards. Oh, no, I can't trade the Owl because it just came out. Okay, so this is good. We get board control. We do a little damage. We have more cards. We have board clearing ability. And I feel reasonably good about this. Obviously, I want to have him bust out a lot of cards right now. I Flame Strike the shit out of them. And we all go on living our lives, because that's like the elephant in the room right now. But the longer I can hold off on using the Flame Strike, the better life is. Obviously, if I can kill Priestess of Elune with it, like, for free, cool beans. Okay, so he's just gonna gain a fuck ton of armor. Does he have, like, a 0 mana card that allows him to do something here? Yeah, give a friendly minion charge? Are you just seriously gonna kill the Owl? Okay. I don't know if that guy thinks, like, the Brewmaster's coming out or something after that, but suffice it to say, I kind of disagree with his play there. Now, he only has 4 cards. I almost want to take a very aggressive stance here and... well, let me think about it for a second. I almost want to just, like, toss out a War Golem and then swap and be like, okay, what are you going to do? There's no point in Flame Striking. I could also, you know, summon 2 creatures. Like, I could swap and then put out, you know, a Harvest Golem down here in addition to, like, a Water Elemental. Which might actually be better. What's the difference there? So for 7 mana, we get 7/7, or we get, like, a 5/9... yeah, 5/9 plus, like, the freezing ability, which I like. Sure. So sure, let's swap here. And then, you know, Gnomish Inventor might be better, but I already have so many cards in my hand that I think it's Water Elemental, Harvest Golem, and we don't even need to use a Mirror Entity. Although what I will say is awesome is that if we Mirror Entity, like, an amazing creature, which I'm probably thinking that he's going to wait until I use Flame Strike or Polymorph or something. Yeah, this is not an amazing creature, in case you are concerned. If we Water Elemental an amazing creature, sorry, not Water Elemental, if we Mirror Entity an amazing creature, we can Faceless Manipulate it, then we've got 2 amazing creatures on the field. This might be Flame Strike worthy, but I don't think it is yet. Not quite, at least. And how do we do this, then? I think we just can... there's no real board-clearing cards for Warrior besides Brawl, right? So I think we can just go like this, and, you know, we take damage, but the Frozen Grizzly Bear dies. And then we swap this out, and, you know, we're only at 21 health. Not fantastic, but it could certainly be worse. And I don't really want to throw out an amazing creature yet, but maybe I will throw out Lord of the Arena. So I also have a taunt out there now. And again, I'm daring him to use his... if he has a Brawl card, or if he has something that allows him to clear the board quite nicely here, or if he has a Gore Howl, play it so I can see it. And then, once he starts getting creatures on the board thinking he's confident, Flame Strike, and then just boom, 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 and hopefully we take him down easily. I'm feeling pretty good about this, even though he has nearly double my health if you count his armor, which you should, because it's effectively the same thing. I have a lot more cards, I think I've got a lot of options here, and I can start doing a lot of damage very quickly. That's not going to solve too many problems for him. Oh, please! Tap yourself out. Ironbeak Owl, silence me. Play another minion, by all means. He's going to buff this guy, probably. Give a friendly minion charge. Why? I guess to become enraged, but for 2 mana, I can just destroy that creature. And completely kill the owl and still be alive, and then just play another creature. Like, he's tapped out, basically. That's really bad news for him, as you can probably guess. So this is like the easiest decision of my life to do that, and then that. We actually didn't lose any health there, which is absolutely crazy. And again, I don't necessarily want to throw out the War Golem just yet, just in case. Instead, we can maybe throw out Jungle Panther to take out, if he comes out with a minion, that plus hero power will probably, in all likelihood, be able to do some serious damage. And then we throw out a Senjin Shield Master as well. And now we've got a Taunt on the field, a Stealth, and a pretty high damage creature, as well as the ability to freeze. And we have Flame Strike, which deals damage to enemy minions. Pretty soon, we're going to get past the equilibrium point where we are costing him more damage than he has armor. But let's see what he's got in his hand. He's only got 2 cards. Hopefully he's got some more card draw. Youthful Brewmaster is not good enough. That will get taken care of very, very easily. And, oh, he's going to tap himself completely out. Now we could Faceless Manipulator, but I don't think it's necessary. Instead, we will absolutely trade this for this. We'll absolutely hit this with this. And now we have full reign of the board. So we throw down War Golem. And additionally, we're going to copy our own War Golem if we can. It doesn't have to be an enemy minion, right? Yeah, choose any minion. We're going to copy our War Golem next turn. Just in case he draws like the greatest creature of all time, we're going to Mirror Entity. And now let's see what he's got. The answer to this is probably nothing. And the fact that I never used Flame Strike is A, point of personal pride for me, and B, probably the reason that I am still here, basically. So we'll Faceless Manipulator our War Golem. 2 War Golems on the field means that he will probably be dead on the next turn. I haven't actually, run the numbers myself, but that's what I would guess would happen. Yeah, there's no way that he survives the next turn. Unless he draws something amazing. So we might as well draw a card. Maybe we get a Fireball. We got a second Flame Strike. So even if he drew like every card left in his deck at this point, I don't think there's much recourse for him to come back from this. And even if he clears the board, we've got enough damage to hurt him. Okay, he's conceded. Smart play, I would say. That was a really good game. I had a lot of fun with that one, even though I didn't have very much momentum at the start. I never really felt like that one was slipping away at all. So, from kind of dubious beginnings, this episode started with a deck that I was not necessarily a huge fan of, but I'm very fond of the way that game went. So, as always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure to click the like button. It does help me out a lot. And if you made it to the end of this 33-minute-long video, I am assuming you liked it. So that's one way you can support me very easily. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more daily Hearthstone. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.